Good evening to everyone, and welcome to this Second Flushing Remonstrance that we are going to be signing this evening. I'm Pablo Alfredo Benitez. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the rector here at St. George's Church, and we're very happy and honored to be hosting this event, which is an event of the Interfaith Council of Flushing, bringing all people of faith and ethnicities together. We send a clear message to Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Mayor-elect Bill de Blasio that stop and frisk and the unwarranted surveillance of mosques by the NYPD is a step in the direction of apartheid, and something we will not tolerate in these United States and in the city of New York and in this village of Flushing.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ron Kim. I am the New York Assembly member representing this district in Flushing and Whitestone. First, I want to thank the Interfaith Council and thank Reverend Benitez, John Cho, and everyone for being here as we celebrate the second signing of the Flushing Remonstrance. When I was campaigning last year, I was unwavering in my stance when it came to stop and frisk. For me, there was no gray area about it. It was racial profiling, and it was wrong, and I was very clear on my stance that I'm against it. And anything that adds to our society's institutional racism is something that I fought deeply against for many years. In fact, when I had worked for the governor, one of my proudest moments was when we repealed Rockefeller drug laws that was under Governor Patterson, where for 30 years, young African-American males and Latino men were being sent to prison in high numbers because there was mandatory sentencing for drug use, which unfairly targeted urban youth in New York City. Going back to this remonstrance, just to think that, in December 28th, 1657, a group of English settlers came together and signed the first remonstrance to protect not their faith, but another group's faith, to have that compassion and care for another group of people is what makes this country and what makes this city and state so great. And that's what we're talking about here, is having compassion for other people and making sure that in this great country that we can be diverse and that freedom to be diverse is protected. And I'm so proud that Flushing is the place where we signed this contract that set the precedents for religious freedom in this great country. And today, as the Reverend had said earlier, we continue to struggle with racism, with institutional oppression, unfair monitoring of religious institutions.
I dreamed I saw a mighty room filled with women and men, and the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again.
Accosted in the streets of the city. You have been pleased to place Muslims and their institutions under your surveillance, regardless of personal guilt, because they are supposed to be, by some, enemies of the people and a threat. We, the other side, write in the spirit of the Flushing Remonstrance of 1657. Conscience compels us to remind the powers that be of our insistence that religious freedom extends to all, as the Remonstrance states. The law of love, peace, and liberty in the states extending to Jews, Turks, and Egyptians, as they are considered sons of Adam. Surely our common humanity deserves the greatest respect, regardless of social standing, regardless of ethnic origin, gender, or race. We assert that the New York City Police Department's disproportionate stop and frisk policy involving illegal stops and unwarranted violations of personal privacy is based on racial profiling of people of color. We also hold that the New York City Police Department policy of surveillance mosques is another example of unwarranted and unjustified intrusion based on religious profiling of Muslims, contrary to the spirit and letter of our most cherished laws. Though desirous of safety and security, we cannot in good conscience accept this approach, which indeed, by establishing a relationship of fear and coercion, silences dialogue and tears asunder working partnerships between residents and keepers of public order. Tearing the social fabric is the way we will stand naked to the blast of insecurity, and it will be everyone for himself. Far better to give them free egress and regress unto our town, as the original signer stated. Better to save policing and surveillance work for instances with clear cause. As the original remonstrance advises us, we desire, therefore, in this case, not to judge lest we be judged, neither to condemn lest we be condemned. But we call on the mayor of the city of New York to put an immediate end to these ineffective policies as they violate our constitutional rights and demean the integrity of the New York City Police Department. And so we can all add our signatures to this. We'll move the table forward. And I believe the parchment version of this second Flushing Remonstrance was translated into how many languages?
This land is your land.